Alright, so ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Lost Judgment. Incidentally, we start this one in progress because I just got jumped. I booted the game and immediately a gang of assholes here just kind of showed up and started fucking with me. I'm like, geez, I wasn't even like, I was talking to my audience on the stream. Trying to just do like a little intro and say, oh, you know, welcome back. Tonight's going to be exciting. And these dickheads attacked me. Okay.
What a waste.
Alright, now. There is a mission literally right here. This is the one where apparently the club owner bugged, I guess, one of the employees. And I guess since we're right here, we'll just talk and we'll initiate it. But after this, we're doing the main story tonight. But I think we're right here. Might as well get this over with. Care to explain this? Well,
Yagami.
Hi, I'm Takayuki Yagami, the detective who sniffed out your bug. Oh, by the way, I'm also a fully licensed attorney, and I welcome any civil suit involving a breach of privacy.
Yep.
A lawyer? Will you tell Momoyama-san why you bugged her now, or we need to get to the police? There you go. Oh, hello, Guts. How you doing tonight? Orange Cat already beat this game. My wife already beat this game last week. So tell me the truth and we can settle it now. I don't want things to get worse. I'm sorry, I'll come clean. Please don't call the police.
I see.
So you'd heard that another club was trying to poach her. Yes, she was the biggest draw to our club. If we lost her, we'd be done for. Oh, why'd you bug her bag? Or how'd you bug her bag? I reached out to a detective and eventually he sent me the bag as is. Can you describe him for me or give me a name? No, we never met in person. All I ever saw was his web avatar, a dog. Again with this avatar. You didn't get a name then? No, all he mentioned was he's from the illegal detective agency, so it's definitely the same guy. So it was that guy. Hey boss, it's true someone tried to headhunt me a little while ago, but I'm not going anywhere. You know that, right? Really? This is a good work environment. I get along with the rest of the girls. There's no reason to leave. But despite that, you decided to bug me? How stupid of you. He's sobbing. He's crying. I'm so sorry. Well, are you satisfied with the explanation? I am. Now that everything's out in the open, it's water under the bridge, but I do like the bag. Can I keep it? Maybe we should get the bug removed first. Oh my goodness. Alright, the illegal detective agency sounds like the doggone detective has rotten to the bone. I better keep at it with the signal detector. Okay. So now that we got that done, it seems like there will be times that we can use this signal detector. Yeah, see? Oh, I got an achievement on the case. Look at this. Include 10 side cases. Cool. So I guess what I can do is I can search for noise in the chatter app, and if I want to do those side missions, I can, but I actually don't want to do that. I want to do the story tonight. Whoa! Oh, man. Whoa, you said the guy tried to do a flying leap and this. What the hell? That looked bounce. Okay. Where's this guy? I love that. Goes, oh, and he charges a spinning back fist.
Really, guys?
Knocks him back 20 feet. It's awesome. Okay, we're done with that. Let's head to the story. Let's do the story, man. It's about goddamn time we do some story in this game. It's funny because Slayer here said, oh, you can still do more school stories. You actually can still do the boxing club. You can do more of the skateboarding. I'm like, no! We have done more than enough of the school stories for now. We're giving it a rest, man. I'd like to get like a chapter or two into the game, maybe, before we do more. Okay. Ooh. Ooh, excuse me.
Hello?
Yagami-san, do you have a minute? It's Shirosaki.
Okay.
Oh, I was just about to call you. I was gonna say I've got some leads on the murder. By the way, you wouldn't happen to know a Detective Watanabe, would you? From Kanagawa PD?
Oh, yes. He came asking me about the harassment case. Apparently he couldn't interview Ehara, so he got us instead.
Wanna know why that is? Apparently Tokyo PD suspects Ehara might be linked to the murder in some way. And since they don't want Kanagawa stealing the show, they're blocking their investigators out.
That does make sense. Not in a bureaucratic way.
By the way, when's your next appointment with Ehara?
As soon as we're ready, honestly. Did you want to come along?
Yeah, I was just about to ask that. But I'd like to do a bit more research beforehand. I want to know exactly how Ehara's crime played out.
Funny you should say that. Hoshino-kun just told me he's going to re-inspect the crime scene tomorrow. He said it'd be best to plot Ehara's movement from Ikebukuro all the way to Shinjuku, where he was caught.
No kidding. Then I ought to go with.
If that's the case, hold on one sec.
Okay.
Yagami-san?
Oh,
It's
boy,
me, Hoshino.
Hoshino.
I'm stoked to hear you'll be helping me out tomorrow.
I'm stoked to be there.
Hey,
Oh,
Oshino, your
could you
balls
bring the
dropped yet?
statements
Holy
from
crap,
Ahara's
kid.
arrest with you? It'd be a huge help if
What a
you could
voice.
walk me through what happened on site.
You got it. We'll be starting from Ikebukuro Station, so just meet me there tomorrow.
Will do. See you then.
Okay. Alright, so to recap what's going on, okay? Because a lot of you may have forgotten, because it's been so long since we actually focused in on the main story. There was a teacher in training who used to be a student at this high school, who apparently everyone knows infamously was a bully, okay? Such a bad bully that apparently he was bullying a student at one point, and a student committed suicide. Now, much later, he's in training as a teacher at the high school, and he disappears. Completely just vanishes, and no one knows what happened to this teacher. He's gone for like 2 months or whatever. Well, there is a cop who is on a subway, and he gets arrested publicly for groping a woman in the subway, okay? Weird, you know? A cop doing that or whatever, very weird. While he's on trial for his crime, he stands up in the middle of the courtroom. His is Ahara, that's what they were just talking about. Ahara is the name of this cop. He stands up in the middle of the courtroom and says, I know that there's a dead body. The dead body is at this location, and it's the body of this guy who bullied my son, and my son committed suicide because of it, and blah, blah, blah. So he basically spouts off all this stuff about this dead body, and no one knows to believe him or not. Come to find out, he's right. They send cops over there, and there's flares and stuff set up in the building to make these cops find this dead body. That's the dead body of the teacher in training who was murdered like 2 months prior and was decaying disgustingly. So the question here is, what is Ahara's connection to this murder? Was it him who did it? Because he has an alibi. His alibi was he was under arrest for groping in the subway. He couldn't have committed the murder. So who did? And how does he know all about it? And that's really the ongoing mystery. So Ahara is being defended by the Genda law office, who, you know, Yagami has association with. And during his sentencing, he stands up and talks about this murder or whatever, and now it just blows the whole lid off the thing, because it's like, this was supposed to be just this very simple case of, you know, groping or whatever, but now somehow he has some kind of a connection to this murder of this guy who may or may not have caused the death of his son, and so that's really what we're doing here. Now, what they're talking about here is Yagami wants to team up with Genda law office, these attorneys, to investigate the locations of where everything happened with Ahara, right? Retrace his steps. Where was he on the subway supposedly when the groping took place? Retrace his steps before then. Did he have interaction with anyone else? Because they want to see, does he really have connection to this murder or not? He says that's what they're getting at here. So that's what we're about to do. We're actually about to do a major thing in the story. I think what they said is they're going to interview Ahara in jail. They're going to ask him for his side of the story and everything. So there you go. Okay. Shout out to Slayer, who did another $1.50 and said you can do the boxing style in combat right now before doing the boxing club. If you press down to change styles to boxing style. I don't think I can do that right now. I was trying it, and it just seems like only the 3 styles are available. I don't know if there's something you need to do to equip the boxing style, or maybe you need to unlock an ability in the boxing school to get it. But I was switching between, and I don't think that it's there. I think it's just the 3 for me. An anonymous $25 tipper is looking forward to a great stream. Thank you to the anonymous tipper, whoever you may be. I appreciate that very much. Let's get that up on the leaderboard. And that is a nice, generous, and very large tip. Thank you. That gets us up to $31 in tips right here at the start of the stream. Awesome. All right. Let's continue with the story now. This is time to recharge. So I guess we're just going to relax at the office. Yep. Okay. Yep. Here we are. These are the side cases. These are the ones I can do when they're made available. There is one. It's called the Forbidden Taste. Have you heard of the Phantom Ramen stall? Oh, we know about this. So this is the one about the kitties, right? So it says... Oh, wait. Isn't this the one we're doing right now? This is the one we're doing, isn't it? It is. This is the one where we met with the guy and we need to talk to the kitties in the city to get, like, up with the rep. And I guess maybe when the reputation of all the cats gets high enough, then this mission continues, I guess? I think so. Good evening, Tyrone. Good to see you. Derek, there's no chance I'd ever play Back to the Future, the 30th Anniversary Edition. Oh, wait, are you talking about... Hold on a second. If you're talking about the Telltale game, Derek, that game I would consider maybe replaying someday. I'm not replaying the game from 1985 or whatever. That's a piece of dog shit. The NES game. That game sucks. Okay. Alright, so that's it. Let's do it. Who do we talk to? Or maybe we're supposed to sleep? Okay, I think you sleep. Alright, let's get some rest. And tomorrow in the morning, we're going to get caught up with Genda. The Genda Law Office people. Cool. Good evening, D-Man. Good to see you. I need to meet up with Hoshino-kun at Ikebukuro Station. Blah. Ikebukuro Station. Holy shit. That's a mouthful, man. Alright. Kat loved this game. I'm being asked, what did Kat think of this game? She loved it. She said the story was outstanding. It was a totally different tone than the first game. She loved it. And she's like, basically, she beat it already, you know, and I've barely played this game. I mean, I'm 20 hours into it, but I basically did mostly side content and nothing else. So she can't wait for me to get into the meat. What the hell? Look at that. Look at that. A squirrel with an ear. It's going like this. Anyway, I can't wait to get into the meat of the game because I really have not done any of the meat of the game. So that squirrel looks like it's doing, like, I want you to listen, but I forgot how to listen. How do you pull out your gadgets? Oh, here we go. I don't hear anything.
Can't make it out.
Here when we said it can't make it out? Like there's supposed to be something here? Oh! Oh, I hit the stupid chain. I thought I found something. No, I hit the chain. I don't know how this works. I think I'm finding, like, if I do this, see, I think I'm finding something, but I don't know how to do it. I have no clue. I wonder if the game will have a mission or something to explain this.
Can't make it out.
Because it sounds like you're supposed to use this to hear something, but no, I'm not hearing anything. Maybe there's a mission for it. Yeah, maybe there's a mission for it later, and I haven't unlocked it yet or something. Okay, anyway. Where are we going? Genda? Wait a minute. Where are we going on the map? Oh, we gotta take a taxi. Taking a taxi to Genda. Here we go. The station, right? Is it Ikebukuro Station? Yes. Ikebukuro. That's how you say it. Fears and Dreams to me another $2, and he says, as a former wrestling fan, what is your favorite Rock WrestleMania match? For me, it's WrestleMania
See that
19
sign right there? Ehara was leaning on that before the incident.
Hold on. I can't read this now.
Yep, just like that. He was standing around searching for a victim. Ehara's the man in the cap and sunglasses.
Wait. He's deciding who to attack. He is pretty suspicious. So this is a video of him from back then. Okay. Alright. So Fears and Dreams basically says his favorite is WrestleMania 19, The Rock versus Stone Cold, but his matches at Mania 17, 18 against Austin and Hogan were great. I would say Rock Hogan. Rock Hogan is probably the quintessential Rock match for me. The one that I always think of. That's like the iconic match. I'll tell you what ones were not iconic for me. Both of his matches against John Cena, they were a waste of fucking time. Okay, let's continue. Thank you for the tip.
So, Ehara was lingering at the platform a while, huh?
Yeah, he walked past the ticket gate at 7:43 a.m. This was confirmed by the security tapes as well as when he swiped his transit card. After that, he wandered the platform an entire hour ogling women.
He spent that long choosing a target?
Yeah, sick, isn't it?
Then the security camera that caught him would be... that one?
That's right.
This whole thing reeks of a setup to me. Like, it's intentional. You know what I'm saying? Like, this wasn't something that was legit. Like, he did it on purpose to have an alibi or something. You know what I mean? Why would he would have taken that long to pick a target? Like, you know what I mean? It seems like he was biding his time and trying to hit a certain time exactly or something. Spawn Killer just became a 6-month member. Thank you so much. He says, I'm playing Far Cry 6. So far, so good. I don't remember the character scene in the past Far Cries. I love Far Cry 1 where you have supernatural abilities. Yeah, in the last couple of Far Cries, it was a silent protagonist. And this one, the protagonist actually has a personality, which is nice. So Ikebukuro is pretty famous for its sheer amount of foot traffic. In a station like this, the cameras almost never have a blind spot.
Anyhow, at 9:06 a.m., Ihara finally honed in on his would-be victim. Then he boarded her train, which was departing for Shinjuku.
She's the one in the pink cardigan and white skirt?
Yeah, Yui Mamiya, an office worker and mother of a 6-year-old boy. The two of them show up on the train's interior cam as well.
Oh, so crowded. Fuck, that's terrible.
According to the victim's
I
statement,
hate that.
Ihara began by rubbing her posterior with the back of his hand. But it didn't stop there. After that, he put his hand up her skirt.
Oh my god.
Pretty sickening.
I'm assuming he targeted someone shy, thinking she wouldn't resist. Makes me angry just thinking about it.
That's disgusting.
The victim stated she was too scared to call for help, meaning she endured this for 6 minutes until the train reached its stop in Shinjuku.
Can you send what you just showed me to my phone?
Sure.
No.
Now let's head to Shinjuku Station. Then we can watch as the jerk gets busted. Even if we did defend him in court, an asshole's still an asshole.
So this is where it started. Then he took the train to Shinjuku Station and got off at Shinjuku, and that's
Looks
when he
like
got
we're getting
arrested.
close to Shinjuku.
The train's pretty light right now, but it was packed during the crime, right?
Oh yeah, the car occupancy at that time of day can easily reach 180%.
Oh my god. See, this is what I don't like. A lot of people say, "Oh, I want to go to Japan." It's like, dude, Japan is so crowded, it's ridiculous. At busy times of the day, it's seriously like you're living in a can of fucking sardines, like wall-to-wall people and shit. That's why they're like, the pandemic was so bad and they keep getting surges over and over, because you're just living a life of, you're so condensed with so many people in a very small area, it's hard to even have your own personal space, you
And
know?
Ihara should have been standing roughly where I am.
Is there anything I can conclude from looking around? Yeah. The fucking, what's his name is still as creepy as ever. But outside of that, maybe he was looking for something specific?
Suspicious.
What's this? This train is heading to Shinjuku Station from Ikebukuro. It's about 6 minutes from departure to arrival. Okay.
Hey,
What's that? Oh, is that a camera? A security camera that records the train's interior. These were installed to deter train gropers, or at the very least identify them. Really? So it's such a freaking issue in Japan, train groping. They had to install special cameras in their trains to try to deter it. That's pretty fucked up, actually. Holy shit. Yes, Derek, I remember that match as well. It's the match I'm talking about. I remember that WrestleMania. It was amazing.
Ihara
honestly.
and Mamiya-san both exited the train and got onto the platform here. But right before that, Mamiya-san suddenly grabbed Ihara's wrist and yanked his hand out from under her skirt. That's when she got a good look at her assailant.
so without a doubt, she saw it was him.
Yes, and there were also traces of her garments on his hand during evidence analysis. Anyway, after being grabbed, Ihara wrenched himself free and took off at a sprint.
So it was done on purpose.
See, here he gets off the train and bolts across the platform.
He wanted to be caught. You know what I'm saying? Like, this was a stunt. That he wanted to be caught to say he was not involved in the murder or something, but it's weird. Definitely
And
weird.
Mamiya-san chases after him, asking people around her for help.
This is what they kept looping on TV.
Yeah. And honestly, with all this evidentiary footage, defending him in court was a lost
Right.
cause.
Yeah, you couldn't. He was
Is
indefensible.
there any security footage that wasn't aired on TV?
Sure, take a look around you. There's more than just one camera pointed at us. They're practically everywhere.
Gee, see what I mean?
Oh,
He
yeah.
knew this. He knew there'd be cameras absolutely everywhere. He wanted
As for
this
what I
to
was saying
be
earlier,
big
Ihara
news.
was finally tackled right in front of those stairs. Oh, right. I have a diagram of the platform to show you.
What is this angle with this stuff, right?
So Ihara gets off the train here, and then gets apprehended here. How far apart is that?
Roughly 100 meters. Both he and the victim were weaving their way through the crowd. The whole scene was very chaotic. Even after Ihara was caught, the train was stalled 20 minutes until the area was deemed safe.
Hey, you think we could get the positions of all these cameras and where they're pointing penciled in?
Good idea. Let's check each camera's position as we walk over to where Ihara was detained.
Okay.
That's
So-
where he got tackled. So if you could let me know whenever you see a camera, I can mock it up on our diagram here.
Okay, so we're gonna walk and we're gonna mark each security camera. Dome Splitter has to me $3. Says, I know the Suffering isn't gonna make the cut for Halloween, but I still hope that you'll play it sometime. Maybe. Here's the thing. What you gotta understand is, I need 4 games for Halloween, and right now, only 3 have been determined or are close to being determined. Because we have 2 public polls and 1 members only poll. That's 3 games. There could be a 4th game that either I determine based off of results, or I could just pick one. I need a 4th game out of those to play. So we'll see what happens. We'll see if maybe there's enough public demand for something that maybe I'll play a game like The Suffering. We'll see. Okay, I don't know. Actually, I don't know how The Suffering is available. You know, is it digital on PlayStation or something? I don't know. I know it's not on Xbox. I checked. Fears and Dreams to me $1.50. So, are you optimistic about the Robert Pattinson Batman movie? Because I think he has the potential to be the best Batman behind Christian Bale's Batman. I think people will be surprised at how good he is. I'm honestly not sure, but I know that he's a pretty good actor. He's done a good job in some of the movies that I've seen. In fact, recently I saw that movie, what was it called? The Lighthouse, and it was a really creepy, weirdo movie, but he was a very good actor in it and played a very good character. And I feel that he is a pretty good character actor who could probably pull off a lot of different range and roles. So, yeah, I think he could do it. He seems like the brooding type. There you go. Okay. So here we go.
Suspicious.
First camera right there. Huh? It's pulsating. Aha! Wait, it's not... Oh, I can't... Huh? I thought they wanted me to walk down here.
Hey.
I swear they wanted me to walk down here.
What the?
They're kind of far. We're gonna forget about marking them for now and check the cameras around here first. That's a camera, isn't it? I thought that was a camera. I guess it's not.
Hey.
That's one behind. The horror ran off in the opposite direction. Probably don't need to mark this particular camera. Okay. No cameras on the stairs or anything like that? No, I don't think so. They had mentioned that there's a lot of cameras in the train. Do you think there's a camera in the train we need to talk about here? Oh, it's like vibrating. I marked that one. It keeps vibrating. Right there. It's like triggering. Weird that it's doing that. Nah, I don't think the camera inside would have caught him. Maybe I'm wrong? Find all the security cameras. It's vibrating though. It's weird. It's vibrating when I go like here. But there's no camera there. It's the train. Why is it doing it? That's not a camera? Oh, that is a camera. Found a camera. Okay, that is one. Got it.
Hey.
There's one right there. Okay. So there was one right here, one right here, one right here. As he continued to run, there was a ton more. See what I mean? Like, he's a cop. He's not stupid. He knows doing this is he's going to get caught, and there's going to be a ridiculous amount of evidence against him. So this was definitely intentional. He's not that dumb.
Looks
right?
like we checked all the nearby cameras. Let's go up a little further now.
Okay. You'd have to be a complete moron to be a cop and not realize he was going to get caught and have all this evidence against him. There's the one here. There's the one right there. What about the ATM? Usually ATMs have cameras, don't they? I guess it's not an ATM. Oh, you know what that is? That's probably where you buy the credits for the subway itself. So that's not one. It's an elevator? Yeah, an elevator. What are those? Those are like television monitors. I don't think there's another one up here. Where's the... Oh, wait. Yeah, there is. Uh-oh. It's vibrating again. What's going on?
Hey, what the?
What is that?
Hey, suspicious.
Okay. There we go. Tom Wilson played Biff in the Back to the Future movies, and he returned to voice Biff in the 30th anniversary of the game. Oh, I didn't know that.
Looks like we checked all the nearby cameras. Let's move on.
Okay, this way? We're still going. Oh my god, they really want to know where all the cameras are, huh? That's a monitor or something. Wait.
Hey,
There's one. Is that one? Looks like maybe a light.
suspicious.
That is? Damn, it's weird. They have two completely different kinds of cameras that they use. Ah,
What the?
there's still more? Oh my god, there's a lot of cameras. Damn, they're into their surveillance in Japan, man. They got that shit everywhere. There's one station, they got like 10 cameras just on the one platform, right? Did I get that one over there? Wait, did I get this one? No.
What the?
Okay. Damn, there's so many cameras. It's ridiculous. Omar says, this is my first message. Since you became the only game content creator which I've watched since 2013. Thank you for all you've done. You make my days more bearable. You're welcome, Omar. It was a nice positive message. Thank you for that.
Okay, looks
Appreciate
like we
that.
got all the cameras. Our diagram is now complete.
Okay. So this diagram represents the station at the time of the groping. Ahara got off the train around 9:12 a.m. on October 7th. From the deboarding area, he ran in the direction of the arrow and he was tackled by concerned
Now
citizens.
we'll pencil in the camera locations and what directions they're pointing.
Okay. Oh, good lord. Each of the orange arrows represents a security camera's field of view.
Suspicious.
Is there anything I can take note of while I'm looking at the overhead view?
What the?
Well, let's take a look. He started here, right? 9:12 a.m. The victim was gripping Ahara's hand, but he broke free of her, and then he tried to run away. The camera was dead on facing him at the time. You see that? Like, there's no mistaking it. They got him dead on. Does the dotted part of the arrow indicate a blind spot between cameras? If so, there won't be any footage of Ahara running through here. Oh! Really? There's only one blind spot in the entirety of the subway? Did something happen in that specific spot that a camera didn't pick up?
Hey,
The arrow shows the path that Ahara and the victim took as they ran from the platform to his point of capture. Okay.
suspicious.
This is where Ahara got tackled by witnesses. Multiple others on the scene documented this with their smartphone cameras. This is what they call eyewitness footage. I bet the TV stations shell out for that sort of thing. Okay. So the only thing that's of note really is there was one blind spot, right?
So this was the general situation when Ahara committed his crime. What do you think, Yagami-san? Anything of note?
Do you think Ahara and Mamiya-san were riding the train pretty frequently?
Oh yeah, Mamiya-san commuted by train. She was here every weekday. Same goes for Ahara, actually, but he was off that day. Supposedly he was going to see his wife, even though they're separated.
Did he ever say why he wandered around the platform for an hour?
He said the thought of his wife had him flustered and he couldn't force himself to board the train. He always had an excuse ready for anything you asked him, including the harassment charges. He pled not guilty, but the evidence said otherwise. There wasn't a single argument we could make in court to establish reasonable doubt.
Safe to say he did it. But on the same day, he knew his son's bully would be murdered in Ijincho.
Right.
Pretty clear it wasn't a spontaneous need to grab some ass.
I agree. It's almost like all the commotion around the harassment might have been planned out. Maybe everything was, even down to getting captured.
Yeah. You really played everyone by turning harassment into an alibi for murder. No matter how much evidence points to him as a killer, you can deny it with complete immunity.
This is getting crazier by the minute.
At the very least, he had something to do with it. Some connection. But I can't imagine he'll talk.
The one thing that's confusing me about the whole thing is, if this whole groping situation was orchestrated by him so he would have an alibi so no one could say that he murdered his son's bully, right? Why then did he speak up about the body at his sentencing? Like, he directly drew attention to this body that he was trying to avoid being suspected of the murder of. In his sentencing, he could have just kept his mouth shut and maybe no one would ever found the body. In which case, now he's definitely never going to be suspected of doing this, right? So that actually, I don't understand that portion of it.
Whatever his plan is, it's pretty clear
Hello, Joe,
Ahara is
man. Good
committed.
evening.
To what? Getting revenge for his son?
I think so.
Who do you think his accomplices could be? Ihara's a veteran cop. Think maybe he knows how to hire an actual assassin?
Huh.
If so, he could have just paid for his revenge, right?
Sure. But assassins cost an arm and a leg. He wasn't rich before all this, was he?
No. He barely scraped up enough to cover his lawsuit against the school.
Thought so.
So I'll go into the scenes of both the murder and the train groping. That should be all the places that I need to see. Okay. Are we gonna go interview him now? They said we were gonna go to the prison,
Hey,
right?
it's Shiosaki.
What's up, Sari-san?
I'm scheduling an interview with Ihara tomorrow at the Tokyo Detention Center. We'll take a taxi from Genda's if that all works for you.
Sounds good. But I need to head back to Ijincho for now.
Something you forgot to do?
Yeah. It involves Ihara's motive, which would be without a doubt his son's suicide. So I want to confirm if Mikoshiba really bullied the kid. And the best person to ask happens to be down in Ijincho.
The teacher again?
All right.
You're gonna
Then
bother
I'll
her
let you get
again?
to it.
Cool. Then I'll see you tomorrow.
Dude, he doesn't get the picture. She's told him like 20 times I don't want to talk to you anymore. He keeps bothering her. Oh, Jesus. Mark, I have no idea if Guilty Gear Strive is worth what you could have to pay for it in Australia. I don't play Guilty Gear, dude. So I have no idea how to answer that one. Mikoshiba, Ihara, yeah, I think I saw everything here that there is to see at each of the crime scenes. Now that all is left is getting Sawa-sensei to talk, that he will be learning what happened with Ihara's son 4 years ago. So, yeah, he is. He's gonna bother her. Oh, my God. She literally, like, in every room in the fucking school said, stop bothering me. He's gonna go back and bother her. Wow, he's obnoxious. He is, like, a tenacious bulldog. Won't leave you alone. Fuck, man. Alright, anyway. So where is the school? Let's go back to the school now. A prize medal? He's just sitting there. Someone lost their precious prize medal. They won the souffle bake-off contest. Yes, Derek, of course I remember that part that was supposed to be for comic relief in the first game. It was pretty stupid. Oh, that was a nice trick. Do that again. Oh, nice. I get bonus. No. No bonus points for pulling off tricks. I guess not. Oh, well. But nice. Okay. I don't know. I just prefer going across town rather than taking taxis around. Number one, you get to grab these points and items. And number two, you get into the random fights where you earn the extra experience and stuff. It's not that much extra time to go, you know, on foot anyway, so I like kind of hoverboarding around. If I didn't have the hoverboard, maybe I wouldn't like it, but the hoverboard makes it easy to get around town because it's so fast. Okay, here we are. Gee, I've never been here before. The whole fucking game's been here so far. Okay. Okay. So we're gonna go bother. We're seriously gonna go bother the teacher again. Jeez, man. Yagami the obnoxious. Oh, did I did have the wrong floor. Here we go. Here we go again. Oh my God. Look at her. She's already depressed. Look. She's already got a migraine. Look at her head. She's like, oh God. I know he's coming back. He's gonna fucking come and talk to me again. Look at her. Christ. Needs help.
Got a minute?
No, not for you.
Good.
I really have nothing more to
Send
say.
his ass away.
What if I told you it's looking more and more likely Ihara-san had a hand in Mikoshiba's death?
Well, it doesn't concern me.
Ihara-san believes Mikoshiba tormented Toshiro-kun so badly that he took his own life. But neither the third-party investigation nor the courts were on his side. So what's the truth here? You know, don't you? What really happened between Mikoshiba and Toshiro-kun? Why won't you tell me the truth?
She's not
Why
gonna
do you
say
keep
shit.
asking? I said I don't know.
I'm going to the detention center tomorrow to get some answers out of Ihara-san.
What?
I saw where Mikoshiba was murdered. He endured no shortage of cruelty before he died. They tortured him, you know. They broke all his fingers before they slit his throat.
No.
I know I'm putting her through a lot right now, but she's connected to this too. Yeah, he's basically being a complete douchebag. He's messing with all her emotions. Does not give a shit that he's, he's saying things that are hurtful. She's got information I need to know before I see Ihara.
And somehow Ihara-san knew Mikoshiba would be killed on the day he got caught for groping. It's like he did it to prove he had nothing to do with the murder. But maybe that wasn't his real objective at all.
Huh?
I think he wanted to signal that he'd finally avenged his son.
The body belongs to a guy named Hiro Mikoshiba. 4 years ago, this man took my son from me by driving him to commit suicide.
If I'm gonna face him tomorrow, I can't go in without some ammunition. So, 4 years ago, did Mikoshiba bully Toshiro-kun or not? That's all I want to know.
My answer won't change. There's no evidence Mikoshiba-kun did anything wrong.
Are you sure about that? Take a look at this.
That's...
Toshiro Ihara, your student. Imagine that he's listening to what you're saying now.
Wow, he's really messing with
If you
her.
can look at him and say Mikoshiba played no part in his death, I'll leave you alone. In fact, you'll never hear a word from me again. So which is it?
Jeez.
4 years ago. Not long after I'd transferred here to teach English. That's when it started. I was trying my best to get acclimated, and I was finally on a first-name basis with everyone. One day, after school, I was out on the roof taking a break, when Toshiro-kun suddenly ran by. I called out to him to ask what was wrong, but he shushed me and kept running.
Ew.
I saw he had a bloody nose.
Punch him right in the face.
Moments later, Mikoshiba-kun showed up. He was looking for him. I told him I hadn't seen him. Toshiro-kun's face told me everything I needed to know.
So Mikoshiba was bullying him after all.
Yes. Toshiro-kun told me this later on. Whenever he'd leave school with Mikoshiba-kun and his friends, they'd force him to hand over money. At first, they'd try to pass it off as a joke. They said since he lowered the class average on tests, he ought to buy them all drinks as an apology. And Mikoshiba-kun, he was having too much fun with it to stop. He started offering tutoring sessions to Toshiro-kun. Only so he and his crew could extract their tuition from him. They'd even break into his house while his mother was at work and take the money she left him for dinner.
Jesus Christ.
And if he couldn't pay, they'd beat him up at school or make him grovel in the bathroom.
Didn't anybody see what was really happening?
The teachers either saw nothing or turned a blind eye. Few students knew about it, though. Anyway, I ended up relaying everything Toshiro-kun had told me to those boys' homeroom teacher. Mind you, this teacher had tenure, title, and years of experience under his belt. Do you know what he told me? He said not to cause a commotion because those boys were about to graduate.
Why does that not surprise me?
To be honest, it was hard to paint such an outwardly model student in a negative light. There was also no hard evidence to support Toshiro-kun's story. But someone still should have stepped in to help. If only I'd understood that at the time.
You tried.
The only thing I tried was to keep an eye out for him. Making sure he wasn't alone, things like that. But unfortunately, that wasn't good enough. On the first morning of the 3rd trimester, Toshiro-kun tied a towel to his doorknob and hung himself in his room.
Wait, from his doorknob?
And that's when you confronted Miko.
What? Where the fuck is the doorknob on the door in Japan? Up there? How the fuck did he tie a towel? I guess we'd have to see this in action. How the fuck did he do that? If they'd said, oh, maybe there's a ceiling fan or something, that would make sense, but the fucking
Shiba, right?
doorknob?
You asked him point blank if he'd bullied him.
I did.
So 4 years ago, Sawa-sensei stood up to Mikoshiba for his terrible behavior. Why was she kept? Why has she kept that to herself for so long?
Mikoshiba-kun pretended to know nothing. He was more careful, shaken even, from then on. In all honesty, when I heard a third-party committee was investigating, I was hoping the truth would come out. Students were asked to fill out an anonymous questionnaire, and many of them wrote down exactly what they saw.
Hold on. Didn't the court end up declaring there was no substantial evidence of bullying? How could they have said that with those questionnaires on hand?
First of all, the committee never interviewed anyone directly. Those questionnaires were the only proof of anything. And the teacher of those boys was the one who collected them. Each time he came across any mention of bullying, he'd toss that questionnaire out. Also, he wouldn't get blamed in the end for ignoring the warning signs.
So then the committee was pointless.
A few students did speak up about the bullying online, but their posts weren't much to go on. Toshiro-kun's parents were completely caught off guard. His mother worked through the day, and his father lived all the way in Tokyo. That made it that much easier for the teacher to cover up all the evidence of bullying. He made that statement without even consulting the principal or the chairman. So, right before Mikoshiba-kun graduated, the committee presented their findings. That there was no evidence of bullying. The conclusion you've heard over and over.
Stupid.
What the hell?
In Japan, 300 children commit suicide every year, across all grades. Less than 3% are proven to be linked to bullying. Toshiro-kun's case ended up like that too.
So I get what she's getting at is basically there could be a humongous cultural issue in Japan with bullying, but it just seems like everyone in power wants to hide it. Like no one wants to deal with it, no one wants to address it or even pretend like it exists. Everyone just tries to recategorize it or act like it's not a big deal because maybe they just don't know what to do to handle it. I don't know, man. Okay.
Hara-san wasn't satisfied with those findings.
Well, why the fuck should
So
he be?
he sued Seiryo High, demanding compensation for Toshiro-kun's death. As the trial dragged on, I was eventually called to the witness stand. Of course, my intention was to let everything I knew out into the open. But before that could happen, that damn teacher came with the school's attorney to see how I would testify.
They didn't want you making them look bad, huh?
Of course not.
Of course not.
That's when I first learned what he did with those incriminating questionnaires. They had no choice but to reveal everything to me, to try and sway me to their side. I guess they were just that desperate. After all, I was the only adult who Toshiro-kun confided in. I don't think he'd spoken to his parents about it once. So yes, that's why there was never any objective evidence of bullying. It wasn't like I had a mind to record our conversations. And I hadn't personally witnessed it either. The school attorney saw fit to remind me that the law says innocent until proven guilty. And if I couldn't produce tangible evidence, then I shouldn't be accusing Mikoshiba-kun.
So it was witness tampering. That is, they coerced you into false testimony?
Yes.
Must have been incredibly hard on you.
What I should have done was told the truth regardless. But what else could I have really done for him? Some days I just don't know. As much as I've tried to convince myself I did everything I could for him, I can never fully believe it.
So what happened to the teacher who covered all this up?
He transferred to another school. To think he's still standing at a podium somewhere,
That's unfortunate.
Even so, I don't have the right to place the blame solely on him.
Wait, where in the story did Ahara definitively find out that Mikoshiba was a bully? That is true. How did Ahara find out that it was Mikoshiba bullying his son? If the son never confided in the dad, like she's saying, oh, I'm the only adult he ever told, how would he have ever found out that it was Mikoshiba bullying him? Bullying his son, I should say. Yeah, it wasn't clear at the trial whether he could really bring himself to kill a person.
Maybe, but in that case, Mikoshiba's bullying of Toshiro, or those questionnaires getting discarded. Have you ever told anyone else?
Yeah, you gotta figure out. Let the word get out.
I've been silent.
Huh.
Yagami-san. You know what? Back when I was a student in high school, I witnessed bullying firsthand. There was this kid. My classmates pushed him too far. And one day he just jumped off the roof.
Off the roof?
By some miracle, he survived the fall. And he's been in a coma for the last 13 years.
A coma for 13 fucking
Nobody
years?
knows if he'll ever wake up.
Holy shit.
His name is Mitsuru, and he may never open his eyes to the world again. His mom watches him, but she works full-time. She's a higher-up in the government.
I'm sorry to hear it.
The worst part is that his teacher knew. He even talked to the bullies about it. But all he said was, don't overdo it. But afterward, the public eviscerated him. He had to quit his teaching job. And yet, for poor Toshiro-kun, nobody was held responsible at all. And that includes me.
But if anyone was going to take responsibility for that, Mikoshiba should have been first in line. I'm sure Ahara-san must have thought the same thing.
You know what I wanted to be as a kid? I was so innocent, I wanted to be a teacher. And after Mitsuru-kun's tragedy, I felt practically obligated. And still, I just let history repeat itself.
Well, you're a horrible person. What else can I say? Sorry, you're horrible. I'm very sorry. You're a terrible, terrible person. Wow. Just cry because you're sad for yourself. Go ahead, cry. Oh, poor you. Wow. I think I have a clearer picture of what happened 4 years ago, and I'm ready to interview Ahara. I should go back to Yokohama 99 and get some rest. No, seriously, she's a horrible person. Selfish. Didn't take any action when it had evidence of wrongdoing. Didn't have the strength to do the right thing. Cry. You do deserve to cry. You deserve it. You're terrible. Alright. What's this over here? Some pocket tissues. Oh, give her... Hold on. Go give her the pocket tissues. Actually, you know what? Nah, she doesn't deserve them. She's a scumbag. She doesn't get the pocket tissues. Go cry into the concrete for all I care. Alright, we're going all the way back to Yokohama 99 now, so we're getting out of the school. Am I supposed to feel bad for you? You were the one who had all the evidence of what was going on, and you didn't do anything. You should be crying. Alright. I think the game was supposed to make us feel sympathetic. It didn't work. To me, anyway. It didn't work at all. Alright. Oh, wait. Am I on the second floor? Shit. No wonder I can't find the exit. I'm not on the first floor. Here we go. Grab a bite to eat while I'm here. Alright, let's get the fuck out of here. Guts the Black Sword says, I hate when there's sad scenes in these games. Let me tell you guys. My heartstrings were tugged and my emotions have been wrenched. So stupid. Here we go. Okay. Madara's God, if you could take a look, we do have a troll here tonight. Who sadly has been doing the same thing over and over and over and over and over. They've been making these clone accounts saying really disgusting, stupid shit. and they come in like 10 times a night. So Madara, I know you're here. I saw you. If you're here, you're chilling. If you keep an eye on the stream chat, because I am trying to enjoy the game. It's jarring to have to fucking take it away to keep banning this idiot who comes back every minute. Thank you. DoorDasher of Redemption tipped me $1.50 and says the game has been good. If you ever played Shenmue back in the day, it was a very niche game, but ahead of its time in 2000. I did not play it when it was new on Dreamcast. I played the HD remakes years ago, where they remade them in HD for modern consoles to prepare for the release of Shenmue 3, and then I played Shenmue 3. So I've played all 3 main Shenmue games. Yes. Okay. So we're going back to Yokohama again. Again. What is this? A dropped item. Who dropped it? Not there. Oh, here we go.
Excuse me.
The envelope. A bronze plate. Where do these people have these plates? Where are they pulling these plates out? Handing a plate as a reward. Oh shit. Elbow. Oh. Whoa, a double shoulder rush of bleeding attack. Whack his ass. Very good. Look at this one. I wanted to counter, but I completely mistimed it. Oh well. Okay.
What a waste.
This way. What's this? Red pyroxene. And it looked like he was in a pool of piss. If I see red pyroxene in a pool of piss, I'm going to leave the pyroxene and not touch it. I'm going to say, that's okay, someone else can have that. So there you go. Madara's got, I don't know if he's still here. He was here a second ago, and I don't know if he's here. I gotta take weird stupid shit again, so don't. Okay, let's continue. Go back to the agency. How did I miss that? I missed the point. Ow! Balls first into the van. Okay. You know, in a way, Shenmue was pretty much the successor to games like this. Open world, wandering around, talking to people, with, getting conversation, dialogue options, side missions. Like, that's really Shenmue was the first game that had that kind of content. Shenmue walked so that judgment could fly. Oh! Hello! What's up with this dog? It's cute. Hey, what's wrong? You lose your owner? Oh.
Huh?
Well, Yagamishi, it appears you finally met the infamous detective dog of Ijincho. Sorry, the what? Word's been getting around town that an odd dog who apparently wanders the streets looking for cases to solve. Whenever he catches the scent of a mystery or a crisis, he calls out to nearby people, alerting them of a nearby incident. He actually stops by here rather often. It's almost as if he knows it's the detective agency. Seriously? This dog does that? Yes, for the past few months now. He seems to take his self-appointed position quite seriously. He kind of sounds like Amasawa.
Either way.
Why is he wandering around town, though? He has a collar, so he's obviously not just a stray.
Sure.
Ah, therein lies the mystery of this dog. He's very well trained and the perfect specimen of health, but no one's seen him rooting around the garbage or anything. So based on this information, it's clear that he has someone taking care of him.
I see.
The mystery-chasing dog is a big mystery himself, huh? Master Blaster, thank you for the super chat. No, I'm not lowering the membership goal for the month. Sorry. If we don't hit it, we don't hit it, and then next month we move on and we do something different. But no, I'm not going to change the membership goal for the month. It's staying at what it is. Thank you for the super chat. Okay. Wolf. Oh, what the? He dances. He's a dancing dog. Look at this. Look at that. Huh? Something wrong, boy?
Wait.
Oh, he's picked up the scent of a mystery. I believe he wants you to follow him, Yagamishi. Or excuse me, Yeah, Mount Yakamishi, excuse me. Right. He's dancing. Am I supposed to hold the leash? He just has proper leash manners, y'all. Well, I guess if he really is that smart, I can see why he's walking around freely.
What?
What is it? You want me to take you for a walk? Whew. Yes, and he wants to dance. Yagamishi, I believe he's requesting you partner up with him. Are you willing to accept the case? I already have my hands full with the MRC. Now I have to take care of this detective dog too? What is going on? Oh my god, a new dog. Okay, I'll take the case. Where's the trouble, boy? Oh my god.
Who's a good boy?
Okay, lead the way. Alright, we gotta follow the doggo. You're not just taking me to your food, are you? He's got the scent of a mystery. Hey! Guess I'm not taking point on this case.
This way, huh?
Alright, here we go. Follow the doggo. Let's see where he goes. It's a very cute dog. I think because I got the special edition of this game, I get different skins for the dog. So I'm pretty sure I can actually, like recolor the dog if I want. Like there's different...
Doing great.
Different coats that I can equip on this dog, probably after I do the introductory mission. Yeah, Derek, I would say this is a Shiba Inu. It looks like a Shiba to me. Cute. Can I run? Oh, I can't.
This way,
I'm
huh?
walking so slow for no reason. I should follow him right now so that he knows the way. Okay. Master Blaster did another super chat. He's afraid that I'm going to get attacked in person by trolls. It's never going to happen. I have been doxxed for many, many years. The day that I'm not even kidding. It was like maybe 2 days after I moved here. People posted my address on the internet. So you shouldn't worry too much. You know, I'm fine. Where's he going? He wants to go that way? I don't know. Oh, yeah, he's pulling this way. He's pulling this way. Here we go. Okay, woof woof. Oh, okay. Woof woof.
Hmm?
Is this where you're leading me? Huh, boy? This is an issue. You don't know how to get in touch with her.
Oh.
Nope. She just said to wait here, that she'd be back for me soon. Jonathan just did a super chase. God of War Ragnarok is much more than just a next in the series with updated graphics. Okay. Sounds good, Jonathan. Thank you for clarifying that. I don't know why you're bringing that up. I wasn't aware that we were talking about God of War tonight on the Lost Judgment stream. But thank you for the super chat regardless. Okay, then. All right. Dear, this is not good.
Excuse me.
Excuse me, is there some sort of trouble? And you are? Takayuki Yagami, a detective from Kamurocho. Woof woof. What a cute dog. Is something the matter here? Well, he's been waiting in front of the facility for a while now because his mother told him to wait here. Facility? Yes, an orphanage's main facility is upstairs.
I see.
And you say he was left here and the mother doesn't seem to be returning. Okay. Yes, and he actually had this envelope with him when I first came out to ask if anything was wrong. Uh-oh. This kid got ditched. This kid just got ditched. Okay. Some kind of letter. It says, please take care of Shusuke-chan. Ah, I see. Please take care of Shusuke-chan. He's a very good boy. He loves banana ice cream and he means the world to me. Is that why you left him? At the very least, I was hoping to learn why he's here. Being dropped off without any hint of even knowing the truth? That's no way to treat a person. Hey, Shusuke-kun, right? How long's your mom been gone? Like, an hour? Great. Jonathan just did another super chat. He said, it's the only game in the story ended with a legit cliffhanger ending. No multiple AAA game has ever added a single-player story with a cliffhanger. Okay. If that's true, there's a slight chance that she could still be nearby. Yagami-san, was it? You're a detective, aren't you? Could you possibly find his mother? I really wouldn't like to, but... say, did your mom mention anything at all about where she might be going? I don't know. Okay, how about her name? What's her name? Mikan. Shibuya Mikan. Not much I can do with just that, though.
Hmm?
What is it? You're interested in the letter boy? Okay. Oh, you think you can track her by the scent of the envelope? Arf, arf. Well, if the dog's as much of a detective as Tsukumo made him out and sound like he is, I suppose I should let him take a crack at it. Alright? Alright, track the scent for me there, boy, will ya? Okay.
This way, huh?
So now we gotta track the scent. Follow the dog.
Got something?
Way? Right. Hard.
This way,
right.
huh?
Oh, hard pull
Got
to
something?
the left.
This way, huh?
Yep.
Doing great.
Okay. What the hell's going on here? Come on, Mikan-chan, time to get in. Who is this scumbag? Shusuke-kun, was it? You gotta make that dough for his sake, right? And you promise you'll send him his share, right? Of course we will, Mikan-chan. Once you pay back what you owe, that is, and no funny business on your end either. Is that her boy? What's your problem? Go sniff a bone out somewhere else. Shoot!
Excuse me.
You're Shusuke-kun's mom, right? Mikan Shibuya? How do you know that? I came looking for you after the dog led me to your son. Didn't expect to run into this guy too, but now I see what's going on. A dog led you? My guess is you owed someone enough money that this scumbag's trying to drag you off to work from some unsavory job for the rest of your life. A brothel or something, maybe. What? I mean, happens all the time in Kamurocho, where I work. Oh, what? The fuck is your deal, asshole? If you're letting him getting away with the company business, don't be surprised when you end up dead. This guy... Looks like this guy's face shrunk or something. What happened to him? Look at his face. That doesn't look like it rendered right. It looks like there was a rendering issue on his face, and it sucked all of his features into, like, center pocket, and then it stretched the rest of his face out over the head model. Like, it doesn't... Look at this fucking guy.
Hey.
I already heard you say she owes you. How much does she owe by now? How much interest are you charging? She borrowed 500 grand. With interest, that's 9 mil. You planning on covering it or something?
No way.
Okay, see, that's an exorbitant rate. I knew I was looking at a loan shark from the first moment. I think I'll be leaving with Mikan-san now. Do I need to knock you out first or no? What? Fuck you, man. We got it first. You know what? I'm just gonna ice you and your money. Wow. Let's go. Oh, wow. Nice. Oh, I missed the tackle. I wanted a big running tackle, but I didn't. Slam. And punch. Now, where's the guy? Oh, shit. Come here, bitch. Parry. Perfectly timed parry. And, oh, yeah. Beautiful. Beautiful combos. Beautiful combos. All right, sphincter face. Got your ass beat. Oh, fuck.
Hey.
So you want to talk about how treating people as property is illegal? What? What? I'm a fully licensed lawyer, and I'd be happy to take your case pro bono. Why don't you sit down for a little while for a little chat? Oh, shit. Well, screw this, man. What an ass. Is that it? How'd it get so bad, Mikan-san? Oh. Shusuke-kun's still waiting for you at the orphanage. He thought you were going to come back for him. They said if I didn't go with that man, they'd sell Shusuke off to someone. So that's why.
In other words...
Made you panic enough to agree to do what they said? Yes, I feel so terrible.
No way.
That's the sort of thing loan sharks do. They figure out how to pressure you enough that you break. Next thing you know, they own you outright.
Excuse me.
I know a good lawyer in Kamurocho who'd be happy to help. Should I reach out to her for you? Please, yes. There you go. Mom, you're back. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Who's a good boy?
Good job, boy. But what are you doing, really? You got the whole town talking about you now. Don't you have a home? Jonathan, thanks for the super chat. I'm not reading about your comments about waifus and stuff, though. I'm just ignoring it. Okay. He says, don't you have a home? Where's your home? I don't know. He's got to flee, though. That's dangerous. Jeez, boy. I wish you could tell me. Yagami-san, I have a huge favor to ask. I'll pay you if I have to. Please find Rampo for me. Rampo, the old mystery author? No, Rampo's the name of our dog. He's a big mystery lover, too. Even gets away from the house to go solve them sometimes. Oh, my God. You know, I thought we had gotten away from the high school stuff. Let me send you a picture. Jeez, there it is. I should have known. So you're Amasawa's dog, huh?
Seriously?
Just had to break away from the family and make a name for yourself, huh? So cute. Well, can't say I'm surprised, though. They say pets and their owners grow more and more alike over the years, but this is... whatever. I'll just get in touch with Amasawa. Wow.
Yagami-san!
So you had to deal with Rampo. Hey, Rampo! You listen. No wandering off on your own. How many times have I told you? He's got fleas. You'll never behave, will you?
Nope.
He seems like a good boy to me, aren't you? Yagami-san. Well, he does seem rather fond of you. Rampo's usually more wary of strangers.
It can't be.
Maybe he sees you more as a professional partner, Yagami-san.
Huh?
Really? You think so?
Yes.
Indeed I do. In fact, I've been raising him as a proper investigatory partner ever since he was a puppy.
Huh?
Huh? What do you mean by that? Well, when I was little, I read a book about a detective girl whose dog helped her crack the case. The moment I finished that book, I started training Rampo to help me solve mysteries. So you're why he's always sniffing out trouble.
Yes.
Yes, and it seems he's gotten quite hooked on it. Whenever he smells an incident brewing, he's off and running. We try to keep him inside the house, and he's just too good at slipping out.
Does that mean?
Oh, is that okay? Like the animal shelters and police and everything? No, it's very much not. Rampo's been caught several times by both groups, and I have to be the one who picks him up and apologizes every single time. He's becoming quite a familiar face at the shelter, unfortunately. But he doesn't bite and even tries to help people out, so they're a lot more lenient with him than they're supposed to be. Oh, you two really are like, aren't you?
What?
What do you think so?
Hey.
You know, you really did train him well. Like if he's willing to help me again, and we ran across each other in town, I suppose so. You should always try calling for him at least. If he's around and feels like helping, you may get lucky. You're living your best life, aren't you, boy? Oh my God. Ah, Rampo, no.
I'm sorry.
Sorry, Yagami-san, I gotta go. Good luck with that case. Maybe I should try calling for Rampo next time I need his nose for an investigation, although there's no guarantee that he'll come running. Storm P asked, am I far into the game? We're in chapter 4. I think the game has like 12 chapters or something like that, so we're not very far into the game, no. Alright, so detectives knows the dog. Not so much a gadget as a living being with a mind and feelings. It's important to remind yourself of these things. By utilizing his incredible sense of smell, he can track odorous evidence for you. Based on how far you are in the story, he may run off on his own to track a scent. Following him would be a good idea. Call for your canine by accessing the dog app from Gadget. Alright, so we have a detective dog. I wonder, like I said, I know you can reskin that dog, but I don't actually know where you can reskin the dog from. Did they say there was an app? Gadgets. The doggo.
There you are. Who's a good boy?
That is so cute.
Good boy.
Now, I don't know. I don't think there's a way. Nah. Recall the dog. How do I get rid of him? What if I don't need the dog anymore? Oh, here we go. Yeah, I don't know how to do it. Maybe you got to do it from the, maybe you have to do it from the office, right? Maybe you go to the office and then you can set up to change the skin of the dog. Anyway, let me save the game. Now we've played for over an hour. Let's save up. Good stuff.